Alright guys, been a minute since we've been in the shop. It's been hotter than hell in Texas. And when you spend 40 hours on the job in this heat, you get home, you don't really feel like being out in it. I'd planned on coming out here tonight and working on the Colorado, but I think we're going to go to a little car show in the morning, so I guess I'll work on it tomorrow night. So we're just going to do a little fleet update and a little, wait a minute, not yet. We're going to do a little fleet update and see where we're at. This thing here is going to be the death of me, I'm afraid. I've had more trouble with this stupid car than anything I've ever worked on in my life. 08 Nissan Versa. I call it crapshoot because I bought it off of auction sight unseen. Turns out the motor's bad. We're going to have to put a motor in it. Thought it was coil packs, then I thought it was head gasket. Turns out they got it real hot. Motor's just junk. But I'm having a hard time getting the motor out. I'm going to have to pull the head off because I can't get the heat shield off the exhaust manifold so I can unbolt the exhaust manifold. So I'm going to have to pull the head and then pull the block. And I kind of got lazy on it because I had a hard time getting the harmonic balance bolt out. I had to order me a Milwaukee high torque impact gun. My air gun wouldn't do it. And just one downfall after another. And the bolts in these things are real soft. So if you work on one of these little Nissan cars, use 6-point sockets. I've got a bunch of junk from Northern Tool, which has been fine, but on this car, I got it the Milwaukee screw gun. It's 20 volt, but it's the screw gun. You know, you change the tips in. It's not an impact. It is an impact, but I mean, it's not a regular commercial grade mechanic impact. And if you use a 12-point socket and that little weak, cheap impact, it'll round these bolts off. So that's been a lot of my problems. So if you're working on your own little Nissan, get 6-point sockets because these bolts are super soft. Not yet. That one's last. I got to keep you waiting until the end of the video. So that's where we're at with that. I hadn't found a deal on a motor that I like. And I guess another tip would be the axle. The drive axle for the passenger side has a block that bolts to the back of the engine block that the axle goes through. It has a support bearing in it. Well, I had the idea just to unbolt that block and let it all hang there, and the weight of the drive axle took the seal out of the transmission. So we're gonna have to pull the axle out, which, you know, it's not a big deal. And we're gonna have to put a seal, output seal in that. That's no biggie. Anyway, oh, wait a minute. Nope, not yet. So I got this thing up on the ramps. I was going to change oil in it, and I was going to pull the radiator out of it and take the fans off of it from Amazon. And I ordered, well, I actually ordered the replacement fans from Amazon, but the replacement fans are a dual fan that's factory replacement for the 07 Dodge Charger. Everybody says they're the way to go. And other than that, we've drove the truck quite a bit. It runs good and drives good. My girlfriend and me drove it around all one day. Well, she drove it. I can't drive blind. I had to surrender my license. So, you know, I work on all this stuff, fix it all up, and then I can't even drive it, and can't even get nobody usually to come over here and drive me around. But anyway, she drove it around one day, me and her playing around, and it ran perfect. No issues at all. I brought it home, charged the air conditioner, and when I got the air conditioner charged, the cooling fans are not keeping up. If you set it at a red light for a long period of time, it gets up around 216 degrees with the AC on. The AC off, it's fine. Going down the road, it's fine. You know, stop and go traffic's fine. It's just when you get held up with a long red light or traffic jam or run in the store and leave it running, whatever. One of the problems I'm having, I don't know if you guys run into this, and I don't know if it's a current performance wiring problem, but my son, me and him went and drove this thing, and he drove it hard, and the first pull that he made at wide open throttle, this thing just shut off like you cut the key off. Wouldn't start. Unplugged that and it started. Now it runs terrible, and I don't know if I don't know if it maybe got some trash in the injector or maybe something went through the intake. I did put a new mass airflow sensor in it. It didn't affect it. It has a PO 102, is that right? And 113 codes for mass airflow sensor. But when you check the wiring, the black with the white stripes grounded. Pink wire's got 12 volts and the yellow wire's got 4.8 volts. It says 5 volt reference, but it's showing 4.8. So I'm just wondering if it's not pinned correctly, and I just hadn't done the research to find it. So if you know, let me know and send me a picture of it or whatever you can. I did put new plugs and wires in it. All the plugs were white except for 2 were black. So I guess it's possible we got some trash in the injector. You can actually smell fuel when it's running. And like I said, I run it around here a long time, and the girlfriend, we drove it all day long. It didn't miss a beat. And then after the wide open run, it shut off, and it hasn't really run great since. So we get that fixed. The running took care of, the check engine light took care of, and the fans in it. Then this thing will be ready to sail. The spark plug wires, here's the Corvette. I ordered, somebody's got their weed whacker blower going over there. I robbed the plug wires off here. I put new plug wires on this thing. 79 Corvette 6.0 LS swap. It's on the carburetor, because I'm going to put MSD atomic EFI on it one day. The transmission that came with the car is not any good. I have a 700 R4 in there I'm going to put in it and get that done. Then I'm going to do vintage air. Then I'm going to work on the interior, get everything working. And then we'll probably put it up for sale. I'm not going to do the body work. But I ordered the Mallory, or the Axel 9000 ceramic wires for this car, because these were new and they were touching the header. So I ordered the ceramic wires for here, and I put the ones off here on the Colorado. So we got that took care of. All right, so here we go. This thing, I've been seeing these Predator engines. It's just sitting there. I don't have all the parts. I've been seeing these Predator engines, guys doing projects with them, and I kind of was interested to play with one. And then this go-kart popped up, and it belonged to a kid that I know real well and like real well. So I just told him, bring it to me. Now, everybody says these Predators are hard to get. So I jumped on the internet, and my local store had one. So I ran out there, and that guy said, we've just had these 2 days. He said, I didn't even know we sold them. And so anyway, I got the first one here, I guess, that I know of. Or at least the first one bought at our store. So it's a racing go-kart, adult-size racing go-kart. It's hydraulic brakes, and it's right on the ground. We're probably going to order some new back tires, or find some used back tires, and put the PVC on them. And maybe that'll make it fun to drive. I can't drive it, but I got grandkids. They'll have a ball on it. And it's real wide. It's not going to turn over. They can just get out there and roar and rip. Go-karts are good experience for your young ones to learn how to drive a real car. But anyway, if you don't know anything about the Predator Ghost, the go-kart mini bike community have been using these Predator engines for a long time because they're cheap. I think you can buy this engine for $99 in its stock form. So Predator decided to build an engine and do all the tricks that all the guys are doing with them to make them faster. See, it's got a slide carburetor like a dirt bike. Don't have a fuel tank on it. It doesn't have a governor on it. Your typical 4-cycle lawnmower engines has a governor on it, and they run about 3,500 RPMs. See, it's got go-karts and stuff right on the box, and you have to buy this little install kit to put it on with. I got that as well. Normal go-kart, your normal Predator engines have a governor. I believe they're governed at around 3,400 to 3,500 RPMs. This one has circuitry in the coil that shuts it off at 6,000 RPMs. So you can upgrade the flywheel. It has a cast iron flywheel in it. You can upgrade the flywheel, and you can put a governor. You can put a coil off of a engine that has a governor, because the governor controls RPM, so the coil doesn't need to. you can put that coil on this engine and it'll go to 9,000 RPMs. So it'll be quite a little ride. I don't know if I'm going to do all that or not. We'll see. This is a little kit you had to buy extra to install it. Comes with a pipe, air filter. Comes with a head gasket, which confused me. Why it come with a head gasket? Well, I've done some research. The Predator engine has a 50 thousandths head gasket. This one measures 40 thousandths. It's thinner, which is essentially milling 10 thousandths off your head, raising the compression. So you got a stainless steel, looks like header, muffler, a filter. You got a fuel pump, fuel lines, fuel clamps, and a brace to put your engine up on the brace that holds the exhaust so it doesn't vibrate and break off. But anyway, we got a bunch of parts going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to start assembling on the cart. Here's the Dodge fan we're going to put on the, everybody on the forum says just lay that on top of your radiator and run self-tapping screws right into the plastic border of the radiator on the sides where there's no water or nothing, and put it in there and wire it up. Anyway, that's about all I got for today. Please like, follow, share, and tag, and comment. If you know anything about the Colorado mass airflow sensor, it's the E67 ECM Colorado Performance Harness. It should be the, when you hook the scan tool up, it says 2009 Colorado. So I guess that's what the wiring should be. Anyway, if you got any information on that, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it for now then, I guess. We'll see y'all later. We'll probably be out here tomorrow night working on the Colorado. And I started a video on this thing, but I didn't get the engine out, so I still got to finish that. Next week, I got to work, and then after that I'll be off a week, so maybe that week off I can get this motor out and finish getting the light off of that so I can put it up for sale. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good evening.